So good morning, everyone. In case you've just joined us in the last minute or two, we're just going to start our webinar about yoga for the mind, body, and soul in about 4 minutes time. So if you could do me a favor and scroll down to the bottom of your screen, you'll see a button marked chat. And so that's the way to interact with me, because we keep everybody on mute. It just saves for a lot of chatter and allows myself and our other panelists to tell you all about our program. So if you click on chat, then you can type in where it is that you are dialing in from today. And it just gives us a sense of who is all on our webinar. I see a couple of people. I see Mary from Toronto. I see a Judy also from Toronto. Yeah, slowly people are joining us. So in a few minutes time, we'll get started with our webinar, Yoga for the Mind, Body, and Soul. Very excited about this one. So yeah, about 3 minutes, we'll get started. I see Wendy here as well this morning from Belleville. Good morning. And yeah, slowly, we've got a David here from Winnipeg. Good morning. So we got lots of folks coming from all over the place. So that tool, by the way, is again the tool that you use if you have a question at any time during the webinar. Please click on that chat button, type it into the bottom, and then when we get to the Q&A section, which is at the end of the webinar, then I'll address all the questions. So that's the way to interact with us. I will keep an eye on that if there's something burning that comes up. So if you've just joined us in the last couple of minutes, welcome to our webinar, Yoga for the Mind, Body, and Soul in Thailand. We'll be starting in about 2 minutes time. If you could scroll down to the bottom of the screen and click on the chat button, and then let us know where it is that you are dialing in from this morning. Then it gives us a sense of all the people that have taken their time to come out. Hopefully you've all done your yoga this morning before coming out to our webinar. So yeah, we've got about a little over a minute left to go before we get started. So welcome everyone. And we will be getting going momentarily for this morning's webinar. All right, so about another minute left to go. So if you've just joined us in the last minute or two, if you could scroll down to the bottom of your screen and click on the button marked chat and type in where it is that you are joining the webinar from this morning, where in Canada that you're coming in. Just gives us a sense of who all is on the webinar this morning. I see quite a few people here that have joined us now. There's Alan from Markham, and I see John from out in Saskatoon. Welcome. Got up early for this one. So great to see everyone here. We're going to get started in about 1 minute. So anytime during the webinar, if you have questions, please click on the chat box at the bottom. Type in your question because we have everybody on mute. And then we'll answer all the questions at the end of the webinar. Great, so I see the clock just turned 11 o'clock, and because we're gonna run just like I run all of my tour programs, we're gonna start right on time. I'm sure there'll be more people joining us, so welcome this morning to our webinar, Yoga for the Mind, Body, and Soul, happening in Thailand at the end of this coming September. Very excited about this program. I'm going to tell you all about it. So in case you've just joined us, once again, if you have a question, click on the chat button at the bottom of your screen, type your question in there, and we'll address it at the end of the webinar. And if you have any other comments, that's the way to communicate with me, because we have everybody on mute. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, for those of you who may not be so familiar with Wheel and Anchor and what we're all about, we're about bringing travelers together. So we are a travel community across Canada. We have members from all different parts of the country, and these are people like you who already are well-traveled and who aspire to a different kind of travel than the stuff you'll often see out in the marketplace. So my vision for you is that each and every one of you becomes well-traveled and well-connected. What does that mean to be well-traveled? Well, when we talk about being well-traveled, it's about going out to the world, experiencing new cultures. It's about learning. It's about tasting, trying, smelling. It's about, really fulfilling all your senses. And that's our goal, is that our members, as I say, really have an opportunity to experience the world in a way that's a little bit different than just going on a trip down south to sit on the beach, which there's nothing wrong with that. That's a perfect way to get away. But our travel is about experience. And when you come away from that, you're enriched as a person. And also by being well connected, again, our goal here is that participants get to know each other, and we become like a big family. Because, when you have the experience of being connected to other people, then it just enriches the whole experience of travel. So on the webinar this morning, today, our team consists of myself. I'm the founder of Wheel and Anchor. You might know me from one of the from one of the newsletters that comes out every week. My right-hand man, our co-founder and who's providing technical support this morning, Joel Curry, is on the call. We also have Cassandra McKinnon, who is our senior member services specialist. And Cassandra is the person who, if you call into our office, you have questions, or if you want to book the program, that's who you'll be speaking to. And finally, last but not least, our special guest this morning, Brianna McIntosh. Keith could unfortunately not join us this morning, but Brianna is going to be here talking a little bit about the yoga aspect about this program. This is a yoga retreat. So good morning, Brianna. Thanks very much for joining us. And we'll hear from Brianna in just a few minutes. So the plan, where we go from here. So the agenda for this webinar is really, it's about you. You're somebody who is interested. You're curious about what a yoga retreat in Thailand would look like. You're looking for a relaxing, restorative type of a holiday, and I am here as your guide to tell you all about how that's going to happen and what's going to happen on this program. And Brianna's obviously going to share with you about the yoga aspects of that program, since she's going to be one of our 2 yoga instructors. And our destination, in this case, southern Thailand, an incredible part of the world, tropical destination, where we're going to be heading in fall of 2019. So on that note, I'm going to tell you, first of all, give you a little bit of an overview of Thailand. I'm sure everybody's heard of Thailand. It's a country in Southeast Asia, and it's in fact the most popular tourist destination in the whole region. In fact, in the whole world. As you can see here, 35 million people a year head to Thailand for vacation, for a cultural experience, for so many different reasons. The country has a vast array of things to do, of places to do. It's got serene beaches. It's got incredible temples and culture. It's got wildlife. It's got everything. It's an amazing country. I'm biased. I go there all the time. So it's why I'm particularly excited about bringing this program today. So what's going to happen is we're going to fly out of Canada to our first stop. Well, we're going to stop in Taipei on the way. So our group program includes flights on EVA Air, which is Taiwan's national airline, an excellent airline. I rank it right up there with Cathay Pacific or Singapore Airlines. Really, they provide great service. We fly nonstop from Toronto to Taipei, or from Vancouver to Taipei. And you can connect in, obviously, from other cities if you're coming from elsewhere in Canada. And then we have a short connection and we fly on to Bangkok. We arrive in Bangkok. Bangkok is truly a magnificent city. It has quite a reputation for many different things. We're not going to get into that. You've all seen Hangover 2. And if you haven't, well, maybe not. But anyway, Bangkok is a great city. We'll arrive there in the morning of the second day. So we lose a day crossing the date line. And we'll arrive in Bangkok, and then we'll zip downtown on their fantastic airport express train to our hotel, which is in downtown Bangkok. And we'll be probably arriving there in the early afternoon. And you'll have a chance to explore Bangkok on your own. And Bangkok is a huge city, but it's a very easy city to get around. It's quite busy and bustling, but it's very safe. They have a terrific subway system and other forms of transport where you can grab one of those famous tuk-tuks and buzz around town that way. All very accessible, and we'll provide lots of ideas of things that you can do. You may just want to sleep after the long flight to Thailand, but I would encourage everybody to get out, see a bit of Bangkok, and go to one of those street markets and experience some of the food. So many things to do while you're in Bangkok. So we'll spend one night in Bangkok. The hotel we have is a terrific 5-star hotel, the Sukasol, which is right adjacent to the airport rail link. So if anyone is not flying with the group flights, it's super easy, because when you arrive in Bangkok, you hop on the airport rail link, you go to the last station, you get off, and the hotel is right there. Very, very easy. So we'll spend the first night in Bangkok, and then we will pop down. And so you'll see on the next slide where we're heading. So Bangkok is, on this map, is just about where the N is in Thailand on the mainland. And we're going to fly down to the southern part of Thailand, to a city called Suratani, which is just to the left of the red star. The red star marks the location of Koh Phangan, the island where we're heading. And then we're going from there to head to the ferry and take a ferry out into the Gulf of Thailand to our island, Koh Phangan, where we're going to be spending the next 8 nights at this resort called the Sanctuary. So once we arrive in Koh Phangan, the sanctuary itself is located on the east side of the island on a remote beach. There is a very tricky road to get there, but most people arrive by boat. So we'll be taking a long-tail boat to arrive in on the beach. It's just like a movie. You know, you get off the long-tail boat and you're in this wonderful resort, this retreat in the jungle. It's a fantastic place. Here you get a wonderful view about Koh Phangan itself. I'll tell you a little bit about the island. It is the second biggest of 3 islands in the Gulf of Thailand. The largest one is Koh Samui, which is quite a well-known and very busy tourist destination with lots of big hotels and resorts. But Koh Phangan is quite a bit smaller. And it's like stepping back in time. It's like Thailand that you imagine from 20 years ago. Most of the accommodations are bungalow-style resorts on this island, and it's of course well known for. It's probably most well known for the full moon party that was started about 30 years ago, and now there are tens of thousands of people that show up on the island each full moon to have a crazy party. But Koh Phangan is about a lot more than that, because it has a whole wellness, yoga, spiritual side to it. And that's part of what the sanctuary and this experience is part of, which is not to say we're not going to let you go to the party. I mean, you can certainly go if you want to, but it's a very multifaceted place. You can see some of the crystal blue waters and the serene beaches. The whole east side of the island that the sanctuary is located on is actually basically undeveloped beaches. So sometimes you can go there and you'd be the only one there. So it's really quite nice. The Sanctuary Resort, again, our home for the next 8 nights, is a now become quite an internationally renowned yoga retreat. It was written up in the Guardian newspaper. It's been on American TV stations. It's a terrific place. It's very, it's not 5-star luxury like a Four Seasons or something like that. It's quite, I don't want to say back to basics, because it definitely has wonderful infrastructure, beautiful bungalows that are all scattered throughout the jungle, some of which have views over the sea. Some of them have jungle views. And you know, they're simple accommodations, but they're very, very comfortable and very clean. And it's a great place to spend a week. A lot of people come here to do a detox as well. They're very well known for their multi-day or multi-week detox programs, and of course for their yoga. It's a fully self-contained facility, so it has its own restaurant. There are other places to eat along the beach, but because all of your meals are included in this program, and they pride themselves on a very, very high quality of food. Anyway, I'll tell you about the food in a second. The accommodations, as I mentioned, bungalow-style accommodations. So they have smaller jungle bungalows that, like you can see pictured here, or they have what they call houses. So these are a little bit bigger. In a couple of cases, they have even like 2 bedrooms in them. All of them come with their own private washroom facilities, washroom and shower, of course. and most of them don't have air conditioning. But frankly, we dissuade people anyway from from having air conditioning, because you get some lovely breezes off the ocean in the nighttime. So it's really not necessary. And when you're doing a yoga retreat, it's better to not have this dry air drying out your system. And again, I spend a lot of time in this area in Koh Phangan, and I don't generally use the air conditioning hardly ever. So you'll find it very, very comfortable and cozy. The food at the sanctuary, as I mentioned a moment ago, is all very high quality. They pride themselves on healthy meals. It's generally vegetarian-based food, but it's so well prepared. It's one of those places where I go and I say, I'm not a vegetarian myself, but I'm like, if I could eat the food here every day, I think I could easily become vegetarian. It is top notch. They use organic ingredients wherever possible. Of course, all fruits that come from the island, the mangoes and the papaya. It's marvelous. So you will enjoy the food thoroughly. So let's now talk a little bit about yoga. And so I'd like to again introduce Brianna. And Brianna is going to take a couple of minutes and tell you about herself and Keith. So Brianna, please.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I just wanted to share a little bit about Keith and I. So I'll start with me. I am a full-time yoga instructor. So some of you I may know from Brooklyn, Markham, Pickering, and some of you I will get to know when you come on the retreat. But I teach a variety of styles of yoga, anything from hatha, vinyasa, restorative, and yin. And the same thing goes for Keith as well. And he also likes to focus on arm balances, inversions, and a bit more strength training in his style of teaching. And the both of us combined just want to create a nice vibe, a nice community, a nice time to connect and kind of relax while you're away. That's us in a nutshell.
Okay, perfect. So tell us a little bit about what we can expect on our yoga program. Like what is a day going to look like?
Okay, so a typical day is going to start with a guided meditation, and it'll be different day to day. And then typically we'll start with a vinyasa or a hatha-based class, and I'll describe all of these in just a moment. And then throughout the day, we'll probably have an inversion workshop where you get to work on your inversions or something of choice. Everything will be tailored to those who attend. So closer to the date, you'll have more information about the day-to-day going-ons. And then at the end of the day, we'll end with a yin or restorative practice with a bit of Thai massage as well. So I'll describe the different types of yoga. So hatha is a slower based practice, which is focused on breath and a bit more movement. Vinyasa is a quicker paced practice, which is more alignment based, and depending on the instructor, is sequentially done. Yin and restorative are again slow-paced practices, which where the poses are held for a little bit longer. And in restorative, you're supported by blocks and bolsters, which really help you to release and restore, which is the basis of the whole retreat. But the retreat is not just yoga. So we do have other excursions and activities, which Gordon will tell you about.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for that. It sounds exciting. I'm a big yoga fan myself, and so and I do a lot of yoga in Koh Phangan because it's so nice because you're outside. The yoga pavilion is located up in the jungle, a short walk from the main part of the sanctuary resort, and so it's so idyllic. You're surrounded by jungle, and the birds are chirping, and it's super quiet, and you're there, and you're doing all of your yoga poses, your yoga routines. It's truly a magical experience. But as Brianna just said, there is more to our program than just yoga. We have a whole bunch of other activities that we'll be doing while we're there, and these may include doing some hikes. There's some nice hiking trails out of the sanctuary resort. You can walk along the beach to there's another beach that's immediately adjacent. You can walk up into the jungle, and you can go to the other parts of the island. As I said before, most people will if you want to tour the other parts of the island, you take a long tail boat to the next village. which is called Hadrin, and then you can go from there on a scooter or by taxi to other parts of the island. So we'll be always finding a little bit something to do, but frankly, you might just want to relax and avail yourself of the spa facilities that are at the sanctuary. So the spa facilities are obviously not included in the program, but they're very reasonably priced compared to Canada. It's not even half the price of what you pay here. You can go for various types of Thai massages and other massages they offer. They also offer beauty treatments and detox related stuff. There's a whole bunch of different things to do, or you might just want to relax in a hammock. Let's face it, the part of a yoga retreat experience is all about the rest and the relaxation. But beyond that, what we'll do is we'll do at least one full day excursion, and it will all depend on the weather and the sea. My hope is, and this is included in the program, again, it'll depend on the sea conditions. Sometimes it can be quite rough, which precludes us then from taking a speedboat any long distance. But my favorite place to go is Thong National Park, which, as you can see from the picture here, it's all of these cliffs rising out of the sea, these wonderful islands in a protected reserve. It's about an hour and a half boat ride away. So we're crossing our fingers that we're going to be able to do this trip. But if for some reason the sea conditions don't allow during the week, there's a number of other excursions that we can do. So we'll do at least one or two other ones. And we could go by longtail boat up the east coast of the island to one of the remote beaches. We could do some snorkeling. We could take a tour, as I say, into some of the other villages that are on the island. We could. There's a whole ton of things to do. You're not going to get bored. I can assure you of that. So let's now look at the program details and outline of what's included in our program. So this whole entire program that is going to be 11 nights in duration is $37.90 Canadian dollars per person based on double occupancy. You can read up about all of the details that are in the brochure, which you can get by clicking more information on the website, or of course you can just email us. And just to give you a sense of what all you get for this price, so that includes return airfare from Toronto to Bangkok, and that'll depend, of course, at the time of booking. So that price is still valid because the airlines have different booking classes, so it's all about the availability of the booking class. If for some reason they sell out of that fare level, there may be either a small premium, or of course you always have the option on any of our programs to take the air credit. So in other words, we'll give you an amount back for the airfare. You can book your own air and get to Bangkok on your own, because you may also want to go a little bit earlier, or you may want to stay on a little bit longer. Everything is possible. We're there to facilitate a great experience for you. We'll have 2 nights in Bangkok, 1 night on arrival and 1 night on the way back at the Sukasol Hotel that I mentioned, which is a lovely 5-star hotel in the center of Bangkok. Then all of our transfers are being included. We're going to take the Airport Express just because the traffic in Bangkok is a bit notorious to get down to the hotel, as well as we'll have a shared shuttle bus from the hotel to the other airport that we fly out of. Our domestic flights, a return flight down to the south part of Thailand, as well as our shuttle bus and ferry transfers to get to the island. All that's included. Then all of your accommodation while we're there in Koh Phangan with 3 meals a day. All the yoga instructions included. It's really quite a value-packed program. And then, as I mentioned, we'll have 1 or 2 excursions depending on the weather or sea conditions. Hopefully we'll be able to do the Thong Marine Park. And the only thing that's not included in the program, of course, travel insurance, which we highly, highly recommend that you take cancellation and or medical insurance. If you're coming from another city across Canada, there may be an add-on airfare involved, so we will quote you on that. Cassandra will be happy to provide you with that information. Any other meals that you choose to have, or any spa programs that you choose to embark on that are not part of our yoga retreat will be extra, and any gratuities that you feel you'd like to pass on to any of the staff of the sanctuary. So that basically is an outline of our program. Of course, if you have any questions and all, you can now go down to the bottom of your screen, as I said below, and click on chat and type your questions in. So that we'll now take a little, and I see a bunch of questions have come in already. So let us now address those questions. I'm just going to pull up my question box here. So for the first question comes from Jane. How much and what kind of yoga will we be doing? So Brianna, I think perhaps you want to speak a little bit to how much yoga we do. You've given a bit of an overview, but maybe you could repeat that again.
For sure. So we will be doing probably 2 practices a day, 2 physical practices, and then 1 half an hour kind of meditative practice throughout the day. So it's definitely up to you how much yoga you want to do. You can do all practices. You can do none of the practices. Again, like I said, all classes will be accessible to everyone. So if you haven't done yoga in a while or you practice all the time, know that there will be something there for you. But it's definitely up to you how much you want to do. You can definitely lie on the beach for the day if you choose, or the week. But we just want to try and give you as much as we can while we're there.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Then we have a question is, what if I come alone? Okay, well, if you come alone, there's 2 different options. We have a limited number of jungle bungalows available that we can offer actually for no single supplement, but there's only a couple of those. In fact, I think one of them may be already booked. Otherwise, if you are open to sharing a room with someone, then Cassandra will keep a list of any of those people that are interested, who are also interested in sharing, and then we can put you guys in touch with one another, and you can choose your roommate. We don't force match people, so we don't say, oh, you must room with this person. That's not how we operate. We would rather you decide that you're comfortable on your roommate. But I think you'll find that even the single supplement rates are quite reasonable for this program if we're not able to give you a single room at the same price. Another question we have is, if we don't have 24 people, as the strip tiller go, we don't need 24 people to run this program. I think we need only 10, and we're a good part of the way there already. So I'd say the program is just about guaranteed to be a go at this point. So we're very excited about that. Do I have to do all the yoga classes? Okay, so as Brianna just mentioned, you don't have to do any of the yoga classes. We do yoga retreats. So, Brianna and Keith may be a little upset if you don't come to their classes. But it's really up to you how much you participate in. Another question I have here is, can I add another stop after the retreat? Yes, absolutely. You can basically do whatever you want. So we're very flexible on the airfare. You can stay longer. You can extend your stay in Bangkok. You could theoretically extend your stay in Koh Phangan on the island if you wanted, either at Sanctuary or somewhere else. Just ask Cassandra what it is that you'd like to do, and we can pretty much facilitate any requests as far as deviating from the main group program. Then another question here: if I have another friend traveling and we have 3 people, yes, some of the rooms, they call them houses instead of bungalows. They're a little bit larger, and some of them have 3 beds and even 4 beds in them. So if you are a group of 3 or 4 people, then it may be great, maybe a lot of fun to share one of the houses. I think they all have sea view, so they're quite wonderful. And once again, the thing to do there is let Cassandra know, and she will see what is available and what we can fit you into. So we definitely it'd be a lot of fun if there was 3 or 4 people in one room. You can have loads of laughs. What kind of excursions that we will be doing? So as I just mentioned, we will go to the Thong National Park if the weather and sea permits, failing which we'll do tours by longtail. We'll also propose to do some hikes in the area from the sanctuary or on the other part of the island. We may go up to one of the waterfalls. There's some spectacular waterfalls on the island, depending on how much rain that they may have had previous to that. We could visit some of the other beaches on the other side of the island. You could go kite surfing on the island. There's really a whole bunch of other activities to do. When we come closer to the trip itself, we'll identify those to the participants. And as I say, you will not be bored when you're on Koh Phangan. Then we have another question. So can I fly with another airline? Yes, as I mentioned, absolutely. You are welcome to fly however you want to get to Thailand. We will give you an air credit, which I believe is $950. I just didn't have the information in front of me, but Cassandra will confirm that. So if you want to fly via Hong Kong or via Japan or whatever it happens to be, absolutely no problem. Will we be able to swim? If you didn't swim, I'd be shocked. The ocean here is spectacular. It's wonderful. So you must swim. It's almost compulsory. But as I say, it's truly, truly a beautiful beach, wonderful water. And so, yeah, swimming is highly encouraged. And another question, how long is the flight? Maybe you don't want me to answer that question. No, the flight is the longest leg from Toronto to Taipei is about 14 and a half hours. So it's a bit of a long haul. But, you know, as I say, EVA Air is a very comfortable airline. And there are things that you can do to make that an easier flight. And when you're there, you'll have forgotten it anyway. You won't want to come back. Good. I think that is all the questions that I can see for now. But of course, if you have any other questions, definitely drop us a note. And we can also put you in touch with Brianna or Keith if you have questions specific to the yoga program. They're keen to speak to everyone who is interested or who is proposing to join the tour, so that they get a sense of who you are and what your goals and objectives are for this yoga retreat. Our information is there. It's also on our website. Please email us. Please give us a call. We love to hear from you. And thank you again for participating in our webinar, Yoga for the Mind, Body, and Soul, happening in Thailand in the end of September. And I hope to connect with you soon. If for those of you who are out west or anywhere, I'll be up in Ottawa next week, in Montreal, as well as in Vancouver and Victoria and Calgary and Edmonton and all over the country. So I'm looking forward to meeting a lot more members. And in the meantime, keep well, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.